Alright y'all, I know Christmas just came, it was 2 days ago, and some of you end up with gift certificates and stuff to Bass Pro or Cabela's, and you're wondering what you need to do with it and thinking about PFDs. And I kind of wanted to go over sort of some of the things that I look for in a kayak fishing jacket. Now, we had one good video earlier that my bride did on our choice for the ladies PFD, and that's the Stolquist Flow. This works really good for the fun size ladies in particular, as my bride likes to call herself, a little shorter in stature, because unfortunately a lot of manufacturers have forgotten that, you know, women come in different sizes. So I know she tried a couple vests that were all too long for her, and they bunched up and they didn't fit her well and didn't fit her comfortably, and the Stolquist Flow was her answer, and we recommended this to a lot of different ladies. This has been a really good vest. I started out back, and the reason I've got so many, you know, I've been at this a long time, and we keep a fleet, and if we carry you out, our expectation is that you're going to wear a jacket. That's our rule. If we're floating, we're wearing. So, you know, number one, I've got to be comfortable in them. And I started out, my first upper end vest was the Kokatat, and this was I don't know how long ago that I actually got that vest. Excellent PFD. The thing for this model was, to me, it was too warm. Now, as a guy that thankfully I've lost a little bit, but I still consider myself on the portly side, you know, when you're running 280 plus and already in South Alabama heat, and still with the commitment to wear a jacket, it got to be too much for me. So I thankfully Kokatat has come out with newer models now that are much more breathable than what that one was, and so I will say about all manufacturers is you need to look at them and check, because you got a Kokatat, you've got two Astrals here, a Stolquist, and then the NRS Chinook right here. So there's a lot of different models amongst different manufacturers. So go into them and kind of determine what your needs are. Now, for my need, number one is comfort, because if you're not comfortable in a vest, you will not wear it. And to me, it's no sense in having it stuck in a tank well or up underneath a bow hatch or anything like that. I want it to be on. And I will say that these on this side, I've put them on and totally jumped back in the truck and forgot that I was still wearing my PFD. That's the kind of PFD you want to have. So you want to have one that you're going to be comfortable wearing and comfortable fishing in, and that it's not going to restrict movement. And the reason the paddle PFDs are so important is because, you know, you're thinking if you're moving, even if you're a peddler, you're still going to be moving and casting constantly wearing this, unlike a lot of the bass guys that, you know, shuck their vest and go on. And for those guys that are the bass guys, I know a lot of those wear the mechanicals and the kind that you can pull and inflate, and if that's your choice, that's your choice. That is not my choice. I like to be able to fall in the water and float, period. I don't want to have to worry about a mechanism. I don't want to have to think about it. So this is my choice. Now, each one of these vests has roughly 16 to 17 pounds of flotation, which even at my heaviest and boots and whatever, all of them were fully sufficient for getting me back up to the water. So what you're going to look at is comfort factor and then utility factor. Now, you'll notice some have really larger pockets on the front and some don't, like the Astral V8. And one thing you need to think about, yes, pockets are pretty cool for certain things. Now, I tend to put a whistle in them. I've got a tape measure that I use that goes in them. They almost always have wacky worm hooks or something like that I've stuck, because I'm always looking for those. So I will put small utilitarian stuff in them. I'll keep a spare pair of pliers in there, just because for whatever reason I tend to forget something. Plus I have them on my hip, but having a spare pair of pliers in there that I can clip my braid things, I'll do that kind of stuff in my pockets. But one thing you need to realize with pockets is that anything that increases the size going out on the front of your PFD is going to make re-entry more difficult. So always be aware of that. And whatever vest you choose, as soon as the water warms up enough, I would say, man, put it on, wear it like you're going to fish in it, and practice getting in and out of your boat, and you'll see. And that's why I like a pocket, but I don't want a whole lot of gear on the front of mine. Even the placement of like the knife fobs. Now this is the Stolquist Pisces. This is a really good vest. I was happy with most of the features on it. The knife fob down in the pocket, that's okay to me, but I do prefer it up on the chest. And that's the other thing, is that anything you attach, if you fly fish, it's going to give you something else to hang line on. And down on my pocket, I would tend to strip line and wrap my knife fob down here. So I do prefer it a little higher on my chest. This one has a way to put pliers on the outside of it. Now the Chinook is one that I haven't worn yet on the water. I'll wear it tomorrow, starting tomorrow. But comfort-wise, man, it is. Ooh, just even wearing it, walking around the house, it's like I like this one a whole lot. In hot weather, this is the Astral V8, and you can see these little pockets on the front. And what that is a hole that goes all the way through to the back side. And if you can see that as well, I don't know how well you can see that in that type of light, but it's got vents that go all the way through from the front to the back. And let me tell you, in South Alabama heat, when it's 1,005% humidity and just about as hot as the surface of the sun, any type of ventilation that you can get to your body helps. And this vest, man, you pair that with a really good performance shirt, and it makes a huge difference. Of course, the Astral Ronnie, this is the camo one, and I like it when I'm chasing critters and trying to run that camera and trying to stay a little bit more hid, or the few occasions that I've duck hunted. I like that one a whole lot. But all of them work extremely well, but none of them will work if you're not wearing them. So go to each manufacturer and see, you know, I mean, there are certain things that you question why. I think this one has a little thing that folds out where you could sit a Coke can or a beer can. Really? Come on. You know, I don't need that kind of stuff. They've got little hoods in the top of them. Really? I wear a hat. I don't need that kind of stuff. So there are certain things that some manufacturers will put on and you're kind of like, really? And it makes you question their thoughts. But then there's other stuff that you really like. And then so they'll do stuff that'll drive you crazy, like this little tab on the bottom of the Pisces should be pointing down, because when you go to hold it to zip up, sticking that way, it really, come on guys. So unfortunately there are certain things that will drive you crazy about some of them, but the good thing is there are enough manufacturers with different models, different colors, different functions, that you've got to determine, what am I going to need in a PFD? You know, what's going to be the most comfortable PFD that I can get? What's it going to do when it turns to summertime or wintertime and I'm fighting the different temperatures? But the most important thing is to find one that fits you well, conforms to your body, and that you're going to wear at all times. So a lot of different good manufacturers out there with a lot of different good models, and I'd wear each one of these, you know, without problem on the water. Just make that choice, guys, and y'all stay safe, and let's hope maybe in 2023 when Christmas rolls around we'll be buying something else and instead of having to worry about a PFD. Y'all take care. Hope this helps.